5 strategies to help get your offer accepted during a seller's market. Ryan Taylor with the Achieve Real Estate team in Lansing, Michigan, and today we're going to talk about writing competitive offers during a seller's market. In a seller's market, you're competing with multiple buyers, so not only do you need to act quick, but you also have to get crafty with your offer to make it sound appealing to the seller. When you find your next home, here's what you need to do when submitting your next offer. So the first strategy is to limit the amount of contingencies that you have. The normal contingencies that you'll see on a lot of purchase agreements are an inspection contingency, stating that you're going to get the home inspected within 7 to 10 days after an accepted offer. And there's also an appraisal contingency if you're using financing instead of a cash sale. An additional contingency that may not seem very appealing to the seller is if you, as a buyer, need to sell your current home in order to make an offer on this home, meaning you need to use the equity in your current home in order to buy the next home. The more contingencies that you have, the weaker your offer looks in the eyes of the seller. The second strategy is to increase your earnest money deposit. So usually the earnest money deposit is approximately 1% of the sales price. So something between $180,000 to $200,000, we would recommend an earnest money deposit of $2,000. So if you wanted to increase that, you could go up to $3,000 or $4,000 to put a little more skin in the game. In the eyes of the seller, if they have 3 or 4 offers for a $200,000 purchase price with an earnest money deposit of $2,000. If your earnest money deposit is $5,000, for example, that's one way that you can stand out. And in the seller's eyes, it looks like you're willing to put more skin in the game to purchase that home. Strategy number 3, include a pre-approval letter with any offer. So whether you're utilizing conventional, FHA, or VA type of financing, include a pre-approval letter from a local lender to show that you've already gone through the necessary steps to get pre-approved and that you're well on the way to complete the financing process. If a seller doesn't feel confident about your ability to finance this home, it's going to weaken the offer in the eyes of the seller. The fourth strategy, and one of the most popular strategies that we like to use with our buyers, is implementing an escalation clause. So say there's multiple offers. You're saying with an escalation clause that you're willing to go up to a certain amount, which would be anywhere from $500 to $1,000 over the highest bidder up to a certain price that's the most comfortable for you. So for example, say the purchase price is $250,000, you know that there's going to be offers from $250 to $255. You could put in an offer slightly above asking, so $253 for example, and you can put an escalation clause of $1,000 increment up to $262, meaning you're only going to spend that highest amount if you need to escalate over the current highest bidder. So we usually also put in there that we need to see that other offer in order for our escalation to bump up over that current offer. That's one very popular way in a multiple offer scenario to stand out over any other offer. The last strategy is to have your agent find out what the seller needs and what's the most important to them other than the price. They obviously want a high purchase price, but if you're willing to give the seller what they need in order to move on to the next step in their life, it's going to make things easier for the seller. And it shows that you're going the extra mile to actually figure out what that seller needs. One example would be finding out that the seller needs an extra 30 days in order to move out of the house because they're moving out of state and they need that time to move. If you're willing to give them 2 weeks, 4 weeks at no cost after the sale is closed, that might be more appealing to the seller if they're looking at multiple offers where nobody was willing to give them any time because they needed to move in right away. If you're willing to give them that extra time, they might be more willing to work with you because you're basically satisfying their needs as a seller. The next time you make an offer, try to implement some of these strategies to improve your chances of getting your offer accepted. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.